I can tell you that at about 1:45 p.m., uniform officers received the report of a firearm discharge in the area of Bleecker Street and Wellesley Street East. Officers attended the area in an attempt to locate any evidence that would suggest that incident occurred. I can tell you that the firearm discharge was reported to be at a vehicle. The vehicle left the area, went to another area nearby, and called police. So once we received that information, an investigation immediately began, and the area was taped off here, and we began looking for evidence. Since that time, I could tell you that a number of investigators have attended the scene. Officers have looked at video and have also spoken to the complainants in this matter. And I can tell you that originally the information that we provided was that a firearm was discharged at a vehicle who had two occupants. I believe one was a child. Fortunately, there was no injuries, but because there was some glass that broke, at this point in time, we do believe that firearm discharge did not, in fact, occur. We believe that the window was damaged as a result of an object thrown at the car, and that investigation is still ongoing.
The child in the car was injured still by the broken glass, like minor injuries even?
So the reported information I have that the child did have some of the fractured or broken glass land on the child, and as a result of that, ambulance crew attended the location where the child was at and examined the child for injuries. It is my understanding that there was a minor cut, nothing that would require medical attention to the child or any other occupants of the car. So just to further clarify, we actually were on scene here and conducting a search of the area. We did in fact locate a shell casing. So that was something obviously that we looked at because we wanted to ensure that we were looking at the investigation from a comprehensive perspective and seeing what had happened. The shell casing was nearby the reported incident. So after a search of our database, we've determined that there was a separate and unrelated call in the area of 565 Sherburne Street. Yesterday, just before midnight, one caller reported the sounds of a firearm discharge in this area. Officers attended the scene, and due to the late hour and the lighting conditions, we're not able to locate anything. There were no other callers that called in. There was no other information that would lead officers to locate anything at that time. Given obviously the close proximity of the evidence that we located today, officers diligently worked through video and obviously examined video, which I can't get into the details because obviously this is still part of an ongoing investigation, but looked at the evidence objectively and determined that in fact this was not a firearm discharge for that particular incident today.
What was the object that was thrown?
We don't have information on that. Again, that's all part of the investigation. I'm not sure what was thrown, but certainly at this point in time that's going to be reviewed and looked at. But again, I can tell you with confidence that this particular incident today, while certainly it's understandable that the complainant would believe that the vehicle was shot at, obviously breaking glass would be very alarming and certainly fled, but that's why we did want to take our time and ensure that we determined what happened here today.
Was
properly.
it a targeted attack?
All I can comment on is this is an isolated incident and it is not a targeted attack.